We'll get into this one. Hi everyone, this is Alec from Reddit's /r/Hex Encounter community. Thanks for joining me today as we do our unboxing of GMT Games Sicily, which is one of the games in the Fast Action Battle series by Rick Young. And so with that, we'll go ahead and do this unboxing and opening this up. I acquired this game during the recent GMT game sale. Sicily is one of the games that they've had on hand for a while in some quantities, and so you'll typically find on their specials page regardless. And during the sale discount stacked with the specials discount. So this game ended up being quite inexpensive. The Sicily campaign is an interesting one that is well constrained. It's nice in that there's not a lot of room to maneuver, and so for players it's quite tractable. And this game is a block game with area movement. I picked this one up hoping that I might be able to eventually use this to introduce some people to the wargaming hobby. Game is rated as 4 complexity on the designer's scale, with 3 for solitaire suitability. Not terribly surprising given that block games don't do the fog of war very well if you're playing both sides. Okay, so what do we have? We'll start with the blocks. Not super big blocks. I was kind of somewhat expecting to see blocks akin to what you might find in the recent Skies Above the Reich, but these, as you can see, are fairly small blocks. A bunch of, I guess, what are those, 1-inch blocks or 3/4-inch blocks? So pretty small blocks, but a big pile of them. So perhaps that might help with the map size. Roll of bags, pretty standard. Nice fistful of D10. Oh, interesting. That actually say 10. You don't see a lot of D10s that do that. Let's see. Deb packed this game 7 years ago. Deb, thank you very much for packing the game. And then we've got a couple of rule books here. So the first one that we'll note here is the series rule book by game designer Rick Young. A lot of times you'll see GMT or other publishers, in fact, I'm looking at you, Multiman and the Gamers, that design a core game system will give a series rule book that then just has the core rules that would apply to every game in the series. This one is printed in color. It weighs in at 24 pages, we'll say, which includes an index, event descriptions, designer notes. And it appears to be not just a series rulebook, but also includes, starting on page 13, general rules for exclusive rules. What is it for Sicily? So this includes the Sicily rules. So it looks like standard rules go through section 9 for how the system works, with some call outs and references, and then we'll get here into section 11, which will give us some specifics on how Sicily is going to go. So that's the rule book. Next we'll get into some counters. It is a block game, but it appears that there are some square counters here that appear to be maybe some garrison units, some armor, naval support, status, disruption. What do we have here? Asset or event. So there's still some counters, so maybe one counter tray here. A 4th D10. I got it scrolled away. Let's see. I have a play aid here for dice resolution and hit priorities, combat results, disordered, supplied, action matrix, event summaries. I have a play aid here for capabilities of various assets in various phases. Artillery can act, say, combat before fire, whereas an engineer can act in admin. It's on this side. A fading Italian morale table. Now, I've always been saying to myself, more games need 8.5 by 11 tables on Italian morale. So we have that. Here's the one I'm looking for. Sequence of play. Card including a movement table with references for how much movement costs. Extended sequence of play for all the details, so it's nice to have those. And it's also nice that this is cross-referenced by rule, so you can then hop into the game. Player cards for reinforcement and starting positions. So at start, US markers and axis markers, and then reinforcements for the same. And then these are back printed for a couple of the other scenarios. Oh, and this one's back printed. The US one is back printed with, what is this? Sunrise Bridge scenario. Oh, okay, I see. So the Sunrise Bridge scenario is this card, and that's really all the units, and then a smaller map to work on. That's great, actually. I always like it that with smaller scenarios to start and get people into the game. And then the back of this one has perhaps some status areas, again, for that smaller scenario, I would imagine. Some terrain available. Okay. Here we go. Here are the stickers, as one would expect for a block game. Not as many stickers as I would have thought. This is one page of stickers with double printed with spares. So for the number, these aren't stickers. No, this is definitely cardstock. All right, so those are counters or chits, but these are the stickers. These are the blocks. That's a lot of blocks. That's not a lot of stickers. So maybe there'll be another sticker sheet. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But you got stickers. Have a playbook for Sicily, Volume 2 in the series. Designer notes, player's notes, and the scenarios. And then, oh, this is actually great. So the scenarios only go through 5 or 6 pages. The examples of play begin on page 6. This is a 32-page book. So this is going to have an extensive example of play, which is exactly what you want to be reading. Oh, wow, excellent. And the examples of play include reinforcement, admin phases, move phases. So these are all broken down or discretized into specific examples for how various phases operate and what you're going to do. Large, clear graphics. So this looks great. This looks like an easy way to get on board with the system and see what's going on. So cool. Okay, I'm behind that. I'm down. So there's the playbook. All right, what do we have left? Interesting. So we've had a good run here for a lot of these GMT games recently on mounted maps. This is not a mounted map. But it's not a paper map either. This isn't a folding paper map. This is a compromise. This is a cardstock map that is cut comparably to a mounted map. So flip this in the correct orientation, and we'll see. We'll get Sicily laid out here the right way. Got status tracks, displays, a map legend, and then we will have Sicily north to south. Mount Etna. This is going to be pretty springy, but there we go, with used boxes and eliminate boxes for both players, landing boxes for the various beaches depending on how the allied player wants to do their landings. There's an area movement map of Sicily. So all right, so that's everything in the box. So let's recap and take a look what we have here. We have a not mounted map. We have a cardstock map folded appropriately. We have a note from Deb. Thank you, Deb. We have stickers and counters, which are both used here. As far as play aids, we got a pile of play aids here for reinforcement or setting up your units, making sure you get everything accounted for, which are back printed with a smaller scenario. Play aids for an extended sequence of play. We've got a series rule book and a playbook. In addition, we've got a pile of dice, some little baggies to hold some smaller bits, and a bunch of blocks, as this is a block game. So this is what you will find inside the box for GMT Games Fast Action Battles Sicily, Volume 2 of the Fast Action Battle series. Thank you all for joining me. You can find me on Twitter at AlecMG, also AlecMG on Board Game Geek, or twitch.tv/AlecMG. Like and share this video. Spread the word if you'd be so kind. And you can also join the conversation on Reddit at /r/hexandcounter. Thank you all for joining me, and take it easy.